Earlier on this year, I was lucky enough to have a golf lesson with one of the world's best golf instructors, David Leadbetter. Totally transformed my game, and hundreds of thousands of golfers around the world watched the video and commented saying it was one of the best golf lessons that you've ever seen. Also, the comments went absolutely crazy for a new golf training aid that David was launching, and guess what? I finally have one. Not only do I have one, I have two of the David Leadbetter StraightAway training aids, one to help me with my game, one to help you with your game, because I'm going to give one of these bad boys away. Guys, all you have to do is be a subscriber to this channel, throw a like on this video, comment below straight away, and you will be in the draw for a clip it and rip it David Leadbetter StraightAway, designed to help you get more distance, better technique, greater accuracy, and of course, improved consistency. So what is all this about? Because in the lesson, I found what David was telling me really interesting, but I have struggled to put it into practice coming back here to the UK. So in today's video, we're going to recap exactly what David said, how he used the StraightAway training aid to help me transform my game. And also, guys, I'm going to put it to the test here on my GOLFZON simulator and out on the golf course with driver, because I'm a big believer that training aids like this need to be able to use in your practice, but also need to be able to be used out on the golf course so you can put it into play to see how you can start to get a little bit more control. See how much spin was on that? So let's have a little bit of a warm-up, and this is exactly what I'm trying to get rid of here. Yes, that was a warm-up shot. It wasn't well struck. It's a tiny bit left. It's a 147-yard 8-iron. Not bad for distance, but it has gone to the left, and I can look at that on the replay and see that it's just not exactly how I want to be moving this golf club. So I'm going to get the StraightAway on here now. We're going to have a quick recap at exactly what David Leadbetter did teach me and see if I can make this work. Guys, also, if you want your own StraightAway by Leadbetter, then make sure you check out the link in the description. There is a little bit of a discount for you there. I'm one of the first people in the UK to get one of these. Huge thanks to David Leadbetter and his team, and a massive spoiler alert, guys. I've agreed that we're going to have another golf lesson in January, 12 months after my first one, to see exactly how much I've progressed with this bad boy. So don't go anywhere and subscribe if you want to see those results. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a recap exactly on some of the key points that David Leadbetter did teach me in the lesson. And also, let's go through some of the key points on how I can use this StraightAway to help me get a better takeaway, help me get a better position at the top, and ultimately better positions at impact, which should hopefully lead to better golf shots. Right, I'm going to have a warm-up while you guys go through exactly what was said. Well, that was a bit better.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I like. You've got some good speed. You've got good compactness. It just looks like there's a sort of quite a bit of sort of roll away here, as we like to call it. And then, there may be if the body gets a little quick from there, it's going to be a little late. If the hands get a little quick from there, it could be a little early.
Club face control is probably one of the issues for me, definitely.
Exactly. But your tendency would be to sort of do this, where this sort of rolls pretty early, right? Yeah. So we can see that, to me, the common denominator really with virtually all the top players is where the hands appear to move in and the club head stays out. So and you can look at, if you look at this line here, this yellow line, okay? Yeah. We call this a straightaway because this actually needs to look straight away at this point. Imagine you're in a clock phase. So this is 6 o'clock here, 9 o'clock there. Obviously, if you're lefty, it would be 3 o'clock. Yeah. But so we're trying to get to 9 o'clock. That's the whole thing. Where this is now parallel to the alignment stick. You see, so that to a lot of people who sort of tend to roll it like you do, they say, well, the club face feels way outside. Yeah, it does. Yeah, and it feels closed. Yeah. You see, but in actual fact, if you look at...
Square to the arc, isn't it?
Yeah, it's square to the arc. And look, in actual fact, it has gone inside the line, but it hasn't gone rapidly inside the line, right? So we can see it's... There we go. And literally, the takeaway is a very short movement, literally where the top of the club moves maximum about a foot, and the head moves about 3 feet. Obviously, it varies depending if you've got a driver in your hand, it's going to be a little bit more, but literally, say a foot, head maybe 3 feet. And the butt of the club is actually moving slightly inwards there. So it's like a little circle inside a big circle. There's a little circle where the hands follow, a big circle where the club head follows, and the little circle always stays inside the big circle. What happens, and especially you see with a lot of club golfers, they whip that thing in behind them. They take the club back, and so that's why I'm not a big fan of the word takeaway, but people use it so often.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually you're moving away because you're actually trying to move it away with your core. Okay?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, think of your belly button moving the club away.
Yeah.
And as long as you keep your left arm connected to your chest, that's all the technique you want. And that's why you see so many players today rehearsing this move.
Yeah, I like that.
It's what we call it the modern waggle, because in the old days, you know, players, you know, even Ben Hogan sort of had this sort of look going, and even Jack Nicklaus had a bit of this going. But you know, to me, I love that old saying, "As ye waggle, so shall ye swing." The old Scotsman saying that, but most people, their old waggles, hopefully they didn't swing it like that.
Yeah.
It's just it's like flicking a bee off the end of a club or something. But you can see so. And actually the way to train yourself is, I'm going to move this out of the way, is to actually hit the odd ball starting from there. I always say you want to split the swing up into two. Yeah. The start, okay, which sort of sets the trend as far the way the hands and the way the club head's moving, plus the fact that you've got this connection between the hands and your body. So this is what we call the synchronization of the swing. Yeah. But you actually want to hit balls from there. So just make a swing from there, complete your backswing and go. And you'll find it'll probably put the club on a slightly more...
Okay, so really interesting recap there. Let's get this bad boy open. I never was good at opening things like this, but basically you can see how simple this looks. It clips onto the club, and this is the right-handed version here, so this is going to help me take the club away. I flip it over and it goes left-handed as well. I'm really looking forward. This has actually come on a little bit from the prototype that David showed me over in Orlando. If you do want some kind of tips and drills, you can scan that cue card, and that's going to help you just get some more drills and stuff as well. You'll see exactly that you do get the train aid, you get the carry bag, you get the brand new golf swing potentially, and the key to great golf. We'll see about that, David. Okay, so one thing I like about this is nice and simple. If your grip is on nice and straight to your club face, just align the line here. Helps if that is off. It's only simple if you're not an idiot like me. You can align that just on the club here, so this arrow is pointing exactly down there, and then take these little bearings down, and then just make sure there's plenty of room to get these down. Make sure it's nice and square to the club face, and that really is nice and simple to get that attached to the club. That is a lot simpler than I thought it would be. So the beauty about this train aid for me now is that I can hit balls with this. I can practice swing with it, I can take it to the driving range, but alignment is key, as you all saw from Mr. Leadbetter's lesson with myself. So I'm on a driving range mat here, but I also like to have a few little kind of key points here to help me with my alignment to make sure that is correct. And then I need a ball here. I'm going to make sure I'm nice and close in here. I want a club right on my toe line, and as you can see here, guys, if I move the club away on the inside, this yellow line here is pointing way inside. That's not exactly where I want that pointing. I want the yellow line in line with this. What I might do actually is get a yellow alignment rod there, because then that matches the straightaway, and that's going to work really nicely. So from here, that's the position I want. And having rewatched that lesson again, left arm stays connected, push down a little bit here, and that is the position that I want to be in on the way back. And I can practice that in here in the GOLFZON sim, but also out on the golf course with irons, with driver. I might even go and play with this just to see exactly how I can get that club in a better position, exactly how I can get it to help me, and to be honest, to show you guys exactly how that looks down at the ball and through all the phases of the swing, because this could really help all aspects of my game. Left arm connected, club out here, then set, and then go. Really starting to feel like I can get that club a little bit more upright, like David said in the lesson. I'm not just trying to pick the club up, I'm trying to set it with my core a little bit more, then work on where the shaft is, and really just go through those positions. That was wrong. Go through those positions. It should really help me keep that club face nice and square, both on the backswing and on the downswing, and of course through impact where it counts. Guys, get in the comments below if you'd like to see me take this and play a few holes with it, but for now, I'm going to continue practicing in here. I'm going to take you out onto the golf course and see if we can put this into play with Big Dog. There. So guys, I mentioned earlier in the studio that I love being able to take something like this out on the golf course. It's great to have it in your practice, but even when it comes to wedges, so I've been working with Chris Dennis, short game expert, on my wedges, and we actually had a discussion about this in Orlando at the time. And he said, actually, it'll do you really well to get the club in the right position on the way back and use the straightaway when you get it here. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to grab, actually, here's one we made earlier, and you can do this with an alignment stick. I never really have one handy, but make sure your alignment's correct here, and then from there just practice having that takeaway here, keeping that left arm nice and connected. It's nothing we haven't spoken about already, but from there you can start to control that club a little bit more. You can start to control the loft. You have to think about the weighting of the club as well, because it's a little bit heavier, but straight away there, literally straight away, you can start to see how you can start to get a little bit more control. See how much spin was on that? A lot more spin, a lot more control. I'm not worried about missed strikes like that first one, because it is very much just thinking about, right, look at that, watch this spin now. That is absolutely frightening. My short game has been pretty good this year, but to be honest, this could take it to the next level. And wait till we attach this to driver, because that's going to be something for me which could be an absolute game changer. That's another one. Right, let's get back in the simulator. Let's hit some more iron shots. Let's see just how this can help transform my game, potentially transform your game. Guys, if you do want one of these, make sure you do check out the link in the description. There's going to be a little bit of a discount for you there. I do get a kickback on that, a little bit of a disclaimer, but if you do want one, you will get it cheaper down there. For me, this could be something special. And you see guys, one of the big things that I can work on here is on the GOLFZON simulator, I can start to see exactly how square my club face is through impact by using both the GOLFZON technology and the Leadbetter StraightAway. You can see that's on the shaft here, and I can just make sure, because exactly what I'm looking to do here is get that club face as square as possible. Maybe a little bit more forward shaft lean would work here as well, but certainly that's what's going to help me potentially get better. So when I go back for my lesson with David in January, he's going to think, oh, that guy's lost weight, and got a little bit better at presenting a golf club to a ball. So guys, as you can see out here on the golf course, I've got myself set up in the same position. Get in the comments below if you'd like to see me go and play a few holes with this. It's very easy to get on and off. That's one of the things I absolutely love about it. And it doesn't damage your shaft if you put it on a graphite shaft either. So always things to bear in mind. So I've got myself set up with my alignment, because alignment is key if you are going to do anything like this. The one thing I would say is, with a driver, because your shaft is so light, it does add a bit of weight to it. So I wouldn't imagine the ball flights are going to be perfect. I wouldn't imagine the strikes are going to be perfect. But one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to replay my swings and see how the swings look. Because if I can get the swings looking a bit better, get them feeling a bit better, get them feeling a little bit more on plane, then it should help me generally just hit better shots. So the big thing here is I feel good in the setup. Then from there, I take that club away. And I'm looking at it all the time to make sure this yellow line is in line with my club. That left arm staying nice and close. Then can I do it without looking? How's that? Just about. It was a little bit inside, but from there then I can set myself up to the top of the backswing, get in the right position, and just start starting from this kind of position here, because from there, if you set it, you can see you can really start to hit nice shots. That's straight down the middle of the fairway with a bit of fade. Can I just put this on the club all the time? One thing I would say, if you are going to hit shots with it on here as well, be very careful of this on your follow through, because if you get a bit too, that could just kind of get a little bit painful. So disclaimer alert, James has said be careful if you are going to take this onto the golf course. I'm sure Mr. Leadbetter has said that as well, you would hope, but I'm really looking forward to my lesson with him as well. I'm hoping that first of all he's going to say we've lost a bit of timber, because that is the plan, but also that we are looking a little bit better on the takeaway on the way up. Let's go one more again. So waggle, as you waggle, so you shall swing. Remember that, Chris, what he said?
I love that old saying, as you waggle, so shall you swing.
No, Chris doesn't remember, but in the right position, left arm nice and close, set yourself up. And it's another one, a carbon copy, straight down the middle of the fairway. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed this review of David Leadbetter's new StraightAway training aid. If you have, smash that subscribe button. If you want one for yourself, get in the description. We have got a little bit of a discount for you there. If you want to win one, make sure you get in the comments below, leave a like in this video, subscribe, and I'll see you all at the same time tomorrow, because I'm going to go and hit 1,000 shots with this StraightAway.